completely different game today, and that's baseball. Credit to Binghamton's pitcher, just pitched differently than maybe, I wouldn't say the way we were expecting. He just did a good job of pitching backwards and really landing multiple pitches for strikes, a lot of off-speed mix, and then sticking the fastball in late. Like those are tough guys to when they're locating to try to manufacture. And we had 5 outs on the bases, which is uncharacteristic for us. We like to be aggressive, but try not to cross that line where we run into careless mistakes on the bases. But we had too many outs there, and luckily for us though, the start that Austin Gordon had, coupled with our defense throughout the game, and then some timely hits late in the game by Caden Grice and Cam Cannarella, along with Cam's aggressive play of tagging up to third base and then scoring on a wild pitch for the insurance run, proved to be the difference. And then Tristan Smith, we have a lot of guys making either their first start, like Ammo did yesterday, like Gordo did today, and then today was Tristan Smith's first appearance as a Clemson Tiger. So to see him pitch out of a big jam like that was, all positive signs for the future. But sloppy overall a little bit, not our cleanest game. Some learning opportunities there, but the bottom line is the Clemson Tigers had 3 and the other team had 2, and we found a way to scratch and claw late and flip the scoreboard, and that's a sign of a tough team, and that's the way we trained them. So very proud that we were able to pull out the victory today, even though maybe we had some mistakes out there.
All right, questions for Cannarella and Gordon?
Austin, making your first career start today, if you had any jitters, you sure didn't show it. What was working well out for you out there today, and what was going through your mind?
It was a great day. I was definitely nervous. I think everyone would be, but we train a lot. We train hard. And we just had to compete, and that's what we did today.
Coach told us last night that you're a ridiculous athlete, and that if you played basketball, you'd be making 360 dunks, and it was on full display today on that bunt. Just how much fun is it for you making a play like that?
It's
that
fun.
double play?
It's really fun. I don't think there's a word to describe it. It's just a game of baseball. It's fun.
You do that sort of thing in practice all the time, throwing your body
around? We train a lot of
around?
bunts. I don't think we've ever seen anyone have to dive for one. It's not something you train. It's just something that happens. You gotta be ready for whatever.
Cam, what's going through your mind there on the wild pitch? What you're supposed to do there, and how you attacked it on that play, because it turned out to be the game winner?
Coach was just telling me to be aggressive. If there's a wild pitch, just go, and I did that.
As far as the hit goes, to give you guys the lead at that time, talk about that approach and how big that was for you to get your first big time hit at Clemson.
Well, we struggled at the beginning, and Coach all brought us up together, and he told us we're gonna have a big inning, and we did have a big inning.
Cam, you hit in each of your first 2 games. Any nervousness for you as a freshman going out there and playing in front of a big crowd?
A little bit, not that much.
That you made a real nice play in the field last night on the hill back at the track. Made a diving catch. It takes some getting used to the unique Clemson warning track?
Yes, sir, it did.
How awkward is that for you, a player? Like, how do you get used to that?
Well, Coach put me out there, and I just had to work at it, and my teammates pushed me every day to be better, and that's what I did.
Any other questions for the players? All right, thank you, players.
Thanks, guys.
All right, now go ahead with questions for Coach Bakich.
Coach, you talked about how you wanted to see how your team would respond. You got to see some of that today. What were your takeaways from that?
We saw it in the fall with UNC Wilmington. We scored 5 in the bottom of the last frame there to tie that game. And that was a big. I thought that was a big kind of a light bulb moment for the team. it's one thing to say you can play from behind and, you know, play from a deficit and flip the scoreboard and take the lead late. It's another thing to actually do it. And a lot of times you have to do it a few times before you believe you can be a late inning heroics, come from behind type of a team. So this win was actually a lot more valuable than just this single win, because of the believability our guys have, knowing that, you know, we can score at any time, and they just need to stay positive, stay with it, stick with the approach, find a way to string quality at bats together, get on base, be aggressive. Good things will happen. And so I thought it showed a lot of toughness, especially mental toughness, to just be able to stay neutral, stay in the middle, not get down on themselves, because we had 7th inning, we left the bases loaded, you know, and we had a runner on third with less than 2 outs, and we struck out on a fastball in looking. And so, you know, that could have been a demoralizing opportunity, thinking that was it, that was our moment. But, you know, credit to the guys next inning, go walk, double, sac fly, double, tag up on a fly ball to take an extra 90 to third, and then that allows us to score on the wild pitch. So it was a totally, you know, another aggressive inning of just, you know, really we slugged a lot more that inning, which was good to see, because the hits were just hard to come by today. They played much better brand of baseball, picked a lot more, and they pitched very, very well today. I thought they had a good game plan of pitching backwards, of mixing off speed pitches, of coming with fastballs late. And we'll have to adjust to that, because we had some uncomfortable at-bats early, and we made some mistakes early, but if we're going to make mistakes, it was better to make them early than late.
How about the fact that your bullpen, though, and also Gordon, were able to keep it 1-0 and give you that opportunity late to win the game?
It's huge when you can get holds out of the bullpen, for sure, to be able to utilize those guys that all handed the ball off to each other. You know, even Rocco Reed is really good, and you know he had a 4-pitch walk today, but he'll be back out there, and you know, probably be back out there tomorrow. And then Jackson Lindley pitching out of some jams, and Willie Weiss pitching out of some jams, and Tristan Smith pitching out of the jam. I mean, they just did a good job of picking each other up and letting the defense work. We did have 4 walks today. That is in a hit by pitch. It's above the line for the standard that we like to pitch at, but you know, the defense turned some nice double plays. None better and cooler than Austin Gordon's highlight reel, you know, Superman catch. I mean, that's the athlete that he is. There's, you know, he might be the only one that can make that play, and you know, luckily he was on the mound when that bunt went up in the air, because that was awesome.
Coach, it seems like when you do make a switch on the mound, you take some time to chat with both the player that's coming in and the one you're replacing. Is that typical for you? What do you like to say to your guys out there?
It is. I'll say, just kind of depending on the mood of the situation, they may, you know, it's like that Bull Durham scene, you know, candlesticks and
wedding presents.
Wedding presents. No, it's usually I stay out there, because the way we do it is the pitcher that's departing hands the ball to the pitcher who's coming in. So it gives me an opportunity to talk to the defense a little bit longer, but it also anchors in that message of one guy's connected to the other and he's picking him up. So there isn't that feeling of the guy leaving the mound, you know, upset with himself. He's turning it over to his teammate who's gonna pick him up and do the job. So usually the conversation is very tactical about what do we need and how can we get it. But sometimes we'll talk about stuff that has nothing to do with baseball.
Coach, it seemed obvious that Binghamton may have prioritized limiting your base running after the 11 stolen bases last night, but that didn't seem to deter your aggressiveness at all.
No, and we, you know, everybody knows we're going to be aggressive, and if we're planning on stealing on, you know, 0, 1, or 2 looks at second base, and that pitcher's defense and he and the middle guys run a pick off of that same head look. In other words, if we're running a 1-look steal and they do a 1-look timing pick, we're going to be out. I mean, it's a gamble. It's the risk we take. And that happened to Ben, and it is what it is. I have no problem with that. Cam Cannarella was picked off. He had a big lead, guy had a balk move. The first baseman didn't give him much of a dive back window. But we would philosophically, and just from the mindset that we want to employ, we would rather get picked off at first base because our lead is too big versus thrown out at second because our lead is too small. And that's just the discipline that we have to have there, and just be able to play in that space, which is aggressive. Now, when we cross the aggressive line to the stupid line and have careless mistakes out there and get doubled up, that's uncharacteristic of us. And those are the mistakes that I'm glad we're making, and we're making, early in the game and early in the season, because those are all growth opportunities. And I would much rather us, our program, our team, make mistakes going full speed, going fast, even if they do look careless, than be timid and scared and make mistakes because we're on our heels, not because we're going full speed.
I need to ask you, I know you only got 2 wins here, but you got your 400th for your career. Just how does that feel for you, and do you ever think you get 400 wins?
No, it doesn't. I like talking about the players.
Well, I'm gonna ask you about a coach. What's it like with that dynamic with you and Jack in the dugout?
It's awesome. I mean, he's still a coach for me personally, and a mentor personally, and a coach and a mentor for our coaches as well. And just you have a Hall of Fame coach in the dugout with us, being able to share his experience and give nuggets of wisdom. I mean,